Tasumaye mogo bisaba ni nani bana sefa ware dlansobala Franci. Aiwa, auniche, audanse. Welcome to a live lesson and filming of an episode of Kuma Bakolo, the show where we try to analyze and understand Mandang words as they are spoken or written in the real world. In this episode, we're going to be looking at another headline. This is a project from Archyde, my initiative for creating media and resources for speaking and learning Mandang. If that's something that you might be into, think about subscribing. Otherwise, Archyde. Aiwa, donc ako tasumaye mogo bisaba ni nani bana sefa ware dlansobala Franci. Okorokodi. So this headline comes from a online blog, one that we haven't looked at before. So let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger for you. So it comes from a blog called Jemunkan, which typically means a show or an episode if you have it on television or radio. Otherwise, let's break it down. But first, let's take a little bit of a look at the article. So we can see there's a picture here, and it looks like a building with a bunch of smoke coming out of it, which gives a pretty good hint of what might be going on. Donc, anyabala tasuma beka bo sodola. So fire is coming out of that, or at least sisi beka bo sonila. Aiwa. Donc c'est ça, en bafle. So actually, if we look at some other sources, we can get a good sense of what was going on in case anyone missed it. So the printing office of the Banque de France, producing the franc or the CFA franc banknotes, is affected by a violent fire. So this actually was originally reported in the Figaro. So incendie à l'imprimerie de la Banque de France dans le Puy de Dôme. And you can actually see this is cited here in the article. They actually talk about it down here. Oko, Franci kuna fonidiseben Figaro ko. All right, so we know that this is the article that they are reporting on. Aiwa, donc c'est ça. Let's go and have a look at what actually is showing up in our headline. Aiwa, donc anko. Tasuma ye mogo bisaba ni nani bana sefa ware dlansoba la Franci. Aiwa. So you can see I hesitated a bit there, and the reason I did that is because this word glansoba, this actually is a non-standard form of writing. So you sometimes hear people from Bamako saying glansoba, but actually the form that one would expect would actually be dlang. So I'm going to just correct these straight here. So glansoba, aiwa. And then here sefa, I'll just give it a little space. Aiwa, donc okorokodi. So if we get this started, ambafle, tasuma. Tasuma koroko, fire, right? So tasuma means fire. And let me see if I can make this a little bit easier for you all to follow. Aiwa. Tasuma ye mogo bisaba ani nani. Bana sefa wari dlansobala Franci. So otherwise we recognize Franci, which means France. Wari, I think a bunch of people recognize. Okoroko money. Mogo koroko, people, right? Or person. But in this case, we'll put people. So tasuma ye mogo bisa ni nani bana sefa warid lansobala Franci. Aiwa. So first of all, the thing we're going to do is we're going to want to find our verb. And this one is a little bit tough because actually when I originally read it, I was assuming that this bana here, I was thinking kabang, which means to end, but it is also used in some cases to say to pass away, right? If someone passes away. But here, this actually is going to be a little bit different because we have tasuma ye mogo haketo mana toka niblaye. So our verb here is bana. So first of all, we know there's a fire, and what did the fire do? It acted upon mogo bisaba ni nani. So bisaba ni nani, okoroko 34. So 34 people. It acted upon them. And anko mu. Aye mukeola ayu bana. So normally we think of bana as meaning sickness, right? A sickness or an illness. But in this case, it's actually used as a verb. So ka bana would mean to make sick or to make ill, right? So this is kind of unique. I haven't run into it so many times. So tasuma ye mogo bisaba ni nani bana. And where did this occur? That's what we're going to find out next, right? So this goes all after that. Sefa warid lansoba la Franci. So this actually here is one noun phrase. It all can go together. So tasuma ye mogo bisaba ni nani bana sefa warid lansobala. So let's get rid of sefa. So that sefa, obviously, this is kind of typical in Bambara writings that they spell out CFA, even though this represents the French, what's this called? When you have an abbreviation that's put together, right? But we pronounce it as CFA, so they write it out that way. So CFA wari dlansobala, if we look at dlansoba and we actually break it down, what we have here is kadlang, so kadlang korokodi. And I told you, and I corrected at the beginning, some Bamako speakers or some speakers of Bambara, actually this is starting to pronounce it like a G sound, kadlang. But it's really, in most writings and in most pronunciations, kadlang, right? So kadlang here is to create or to make, right? It can also be used to mean to repair in some places. But if we have CFA wari dlansobala would actually be the big, right? So ba is an augmentative suffix, meaning big house, where what? Wari, money, is made. So it's actually where CFA money, right? So the CFA currency is made. And where else do we say it occurs? We say it occurs at that place, so at the factory, and then more specifically in France. So let's put it all together. Tasuma ye mogobi sabani nani bana CFA wari dlansobala Franci. So if we put it all together, tasuma ye mogobi sabani nani bana CFA wari dlansobala Franci. Okoroko, a fire sickened 34 people at the CFA money factory in France. Nala sona video ni diara aoye. If you liked this video, think about giving it a thumbs up and letting me down in the comments below if this is the kind of video that you'd like to see. Peut-être je peux le faire en français la prochaine fois. Aoniche kambe.